All right, so you want to dive deep into a classic. You send us Wallace D. Wattles' The Science of Getting Rich.
Yeah, it's time to unlock some of those secrets.
And published way back in 1910.
It's still surprisingly relevant today.
You're not just looking for like a book summary.
Right.
You want the aha moments, the stuff that really makes you think.
Exactly.
Well, get ready, because we're about to unpack some fascinating ideas.
Wattles was a real trailblazer, especially for his time.
So right from the start, in Chapter 1, The Right to be Rich, Wattles makes this bold claim. He says everyone has the right to be rich.
Yeah, and he doesn't stop there. He suggests it's almost a moral imperative.
Okay.
Because wealth allows for your fullest development, mentally, spiritually, and physically.
So it's not about greed or
Yeah.
just, piling up money.
Not at all. He's saying that wanting to be rich is actually a natural desire
Okay.
for a richer, fuller life.
Yeah.
A life where you can reach your full potential.
I like that. It reframes the whole concept of wealth.
Exactly. And he gives a really poignant example to drive this point home.
Okay.
He talks about how someone can't truly express love if they have nothing to give.
Wow, that's deep.
It really is.
It elevates wealth beyond just material possessions.
It does. It becomes a means to facilitate generosity and connect with others on a deeper level.
And that leads right into his next big idea. It's a science.
He actually calls the book The Science of Getting Rich,
Right.
which is a pretty bold statement for its time.
It is. It implies that there's a formula, like a method to the madness.
Precisely. He's adamant that getting rich isn't about luck, circumstance, or being in the right place at the right time.
Right.
It's about following a specific set of principles.
Like a recipe for riches.
Well, in a way, yes.
Okay.
He argues that anyone can learn and apply these principles and achieve wealth.
Okay. I'm intrigued, but then where does the actual wealth come from?
That's where things get even more interesting.
Okay.
This is where Wattles introduces one of his core concepts. Thought is creative power.
Hold on. He's suggesting our thoughts can actually, create things.
That's the gist of it.
Okay.
He explains that the universe is made of what he calls thinking substance,
Okay.
and that you're a thought that can interact with this substance to bring things into being.
Isn't that getting into some pretty mystical territory?
It might sound that way at first,
Yeah.
but he uses a really helpful analogy to illustrate this concept.
Okay.
Think of planting a seed.
Okay. I'm following.
When you plant a seed, you're not instantly creating a tree,
Right.
but you are setting in motion the forces that will eventually grow that tree.
So in a similar way, focusing your thoughts on wealth sets a powerful intention in motion.
Exactly. And that intention starts to shape your actions and the opportunities that come your way.
Right.
It's not about magic,
Yeah.
but about aligning your thoughts with your desired outcome.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
It's like you're telling the universe, hey, this is what I'm aiming for.
Exactly. And when you send that clear signal, you start to notice and attract the resources and opportunities that can help you achieve it.
But it's important to note that Wattles isn't advocating for passive visualization.
Right.
So it's not just about sitting around daydreaming about being rich.
Not at all.
Okay.
He emphasizes that action is crucial.
Okay.
He calls thought the impelling force, meaning it gets things moving, but you have to back it up with consistent, purposeful action.
So it's a two-pronged approach.
Yes.
Thought and action working in tandem.
Precisely. And he also stresses that you must give more in use value than you receive in cash value.
Wait, what does that mean exactly?
Sure.
Can you give an example?
Let's say you're selling a product for $100.
Okay.
That's the cash value.
Right.
But the use value is the benefit your customer gets from that product.
Okay.
It might save them time, solve a problem, or simply bring them joy.
I am starting to see where you're going with this. So your goal, according to Wattles, should always be to ensure that the use value you provide significantly exceeds the cash value you receive.
Exactly.
So it's about creating genuine value for others, not just focusing on profit.
Exactly. It's about approaching wealth creation from a place of service and abundance.
Yeah.
Not scarcity and self-interest.
This is a really refreshing perspective.
It is.
It feels very ethical.
It is. Wattles believed that this principle of giving more than you take is fundamental to attracting true wealth.
It's about contributing to the world in a meaningful way.
It is. And he also emphasizes the importance of organizing your business in a way that allows your employees to advance and potentially become wealthy themselves.
So it's not about hoarding wealth or climbing the ladder and kicking it down behind you.
Not at all. Wattles' philosophy is about raising the tide for everyone.
He sounds like a pretty progressive thinker for his time.
He was, and he had some really insightful views on the role of big businesses and wealthy individuals in society.
Well,
He specifically mentions those captains of industry,
okay.
like Rockefeller and Carnegie.
Right, the titans of the Gilded Age.
He recognized that they were able to amass vast fortunes through competition.
That was the prevailing mindset of the era.
It was.
Survival of the fittest.
But Wattles also saw them as playing a crucial role in the larger scheme of things.
Okay.
He believed that their efforts to systematize and organize industry ultimately contributed to the advancement of society.
So it's like they were laying the groundwork for something bigger.
And Wattles believed that their dominance would eventually fade as the masses learned the principles of creative thought and abundance
Okay.
that he outlines in his book.
So he envisioned a future where wealth wasn't concentrated in the hands of a few.
He did. He believed that the future belonged to those who understood how to create wealth through cooperation and the principles he outlines in his book.
It's like he was predicting a shift in consciousness towards a more equitable distribution of wealth.
That's a great way to put it. And this leads us to another key concept he introduces: the advancing man.
I love that term.
Yeah.
What does he mean by that?
The advancing man is someone who is constantly seeking to improve themselves and contribute to the world.
They're not content with the status quo.
Exactly. They have a growth mindset and see themselves as a force for positive change,
Right.
always striving to learn, grow, and make a difference.
Sounds like someone we should all aspire to be.
Absolutely. And Wattles believed that the universe rewards those who embody this principle of continuous advancement. They attract greater opportunities and abundance into their lives simply by striving to become more and give more.
So it's about aligning ourselves with the forces of growth and progress.
Exactly. And this applies to any field or profession, whether you're a doctor, a teacher, an artist, or an entrepreneur. It's about consistently seeking to improve your skills, expand your knowledge, and deliver more value to the world.
This is resonating with me on a deep level.
yeah.
It's about more than just money. It's a philosophy of life.
That's the beauty of Wattles' work.
Yeah.
It's a guide to creating a life of abundance in all areas.
But he also stresses that it's crucial to avoid falling back into a competitive mindset.
Yes, he sees competition as a form of scarcity thinking.
Okay.
You have to stay focused on the creative process, on adding value, and not on trying to beat others to the punch.
So not that cutthroat mentality.
No.
Got it.
He even cautions against getting caught up in negative news and gossip.
It's about protecting your mental space
Yeah.
and keeping your thoughts focused on the positive, on the world that's constantly becoming something better.
It is.
So it's about consciously choosing to see the good and to believe in a future where abundance is possible for everyone.
Right. And he stresses that this is an ongoing process.
Okay.
You have to be vigilant about your thoughts and actions,
Right.
constantly reminding yourself of the principles of creation and gratitude.
It sounds like it takes a certain level of discipline.
It does. But Wattles believed that anyone could develop this discipline with practice, and by studying the principles he outlines in his book.
So the science of getting rich is like a roadmap to creating the life you want.
It really is, and he gets even more specific about how to put these principles into action.
Okay.
He breaks it down step by step.
Okay, now we're talking. Let's dive into those specifics.
Right.
How do we actually apply these ideas in our lives and make this science work for us?
Let's take a deep breath and get ready to explore the more practical side of Wattles' wisdom. Because, believe it or not, he gets even more specific about how to put these ideas into action.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Wattles doesn't just leave you with these grand ideas. He gives you actionable steps.
He offers a practical playbook, right? Not just theory.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He breaks it down step by step. First, he talks about the importance of finding the right business for you.
I bet this is where things get tricky for a lot of people.
It's a common struggle. He acknowledges that we all have different talents. You might be a natural musician, a skilled mechanic, a gifted salesperson. The list goes on.
And it seems logical to do what you're naturally good at.
Absolutely. It makes sense to play to your strengths. But here's where Wattles throws in a curveball. He says you can get rich in any business.
Wait, really? Even if you don't have a knack for it? That sounds counterintuitive.
It does. But he believes that you can develop any talent if you have the desire and are willing to learn and grow. He even compares our faculties to tools. Think about it.
Okay, I'm listening.
You could have the best saw, the most precise square, the sharpest plane in the world. Yeah. But if you don't know how to use them, you won't be able to build anything worthwhile.
We've all been there. That DIY project that turns into a disaster.
Exactly. But someone else could take those same tools and create a masterpiece because they understand how to use them effectively.
So it's not just about the tools themselves, but about mastering the principles, the how, of using those tools to create something valuable.
Precisely. And Wattles adds another layer to this. He says it's crucial to choose a business that you genuinely want to be in.
This is where passion comes in, right? That fire in your belly.
Exactly. He believes that true fulfillment comes from doing work that you're passionate about. He says doing what you want to do is life. And there is no real satisfaction in living if we are compelled to be forever doing something which we do not like to do and can never do what we want to do.
Wow, that's powerful. It's about aligning your work with your purpose.
And he emphasizes that you have the power within you to do what you want to do.
He's a big believer in our innate potential, isn't he?
He is. He says the desire to do it is proof that you have within you the power which can do it. Desire is a manifestation of power.
So that burning desire, that yearning you feel, it's a signpost pointing you towards your true path.
And remember his idea about thought being creative power. This all ties back to that.
So it starts with that vision, that desire, that seed of an idea.
And even if you're not in the right business or the right environment right now, Wattles says, don't wait to take action. Start where you are.
What if you're stuck in a job you hate?
He encourages readers to view any current job as means to get to a better one. Use your current situation as a stepping stone.
It's about making the most of your present circumstances while keeping your eye on the prize.
And remember, he says, there is never any hurry on the creative plane. Don't rush or force things.
It's about taking deliberate action, not frantic action.
Exactly. And if you're ever in doubt, Wattles has some simple advice. Wait, go back to your vision, cultivate gratitude, and get clear on your next step.
It's like hitting the pause button and recalibrating your inner compass.
He believed that when you're in alignment with what he calls the supreme, the right actions will naturally emerge.
Okay, so you found your ideal business, your passion.
Yeah.
What's next? How do you actually start attracting wealth?
This is where it gets really interesting. Wattles says it's all about conveying the impression of increase in everything you do.
Okay, I'm going to need you to unpack that phrase. What does he mean by impression of increase?
He starts by reminding us that every living thing, including us humans, desires increase.
It's that innate drive to grow and expand.
Exactly. We naturally want more food, nicer clothes, better homes, more knowledge, richer experiences, more life, essentially. And Wattles says that we're naturally drawn to those who can help us fulfill this desire for increase.
So if you want to attract wealth, you need to position yourself as someone who brings value and abundance to others.
Precisely. And this applies to every interaction, not just with customers.
So your employees, your colleagues, even your friends and family?
Everyone. He says you should radiate this impression of advancement and growth in everything you do, even the smallest interactions.
I'm picturing someone radiating good vibes and positive energy.
That's a great way to visualize it. But Wattles is clear that this isn't about bragging or boasting. It's about genuinely feeling and embodying that energy of increase.
It has to be authentic, not some superficial act.
Exactly. People can sense when you're genuinely in that state of abundance, and they'll naturally be drawn to you.
It's like you become a magnet for success and opportunity.
And Wattles emphasizes that this abundance should extend to everyone you deal with. It's not about exploiting others to get ahead.
So it's not about that cut-through, every man for himself mentality.
Not at all. He stresses that you should always give more in use value than you receive in cash value.
This ties back to the principle of creating win-win situations where everyone benefits.
Exactly. He even warns against falling into the trap of seeking power over others.
That's a common pitfall, isn't it? That desire to dominate and control.
He saw that as the root of many of the world's problems.
That competitive, scarcity-based mindset that leads to conflict.
Precisely, Wattles believed that true abundance comes from a spirit of cooperation and mutual benefit.
It's about collaboration, not competition.
He even quotes the Golden Rule Jones of Toledo, who said, "What I want for myself, I want for everybody."
That's a powerful statement. It perfectly encapsulates Wattles' philosophy. This is all incredibly insightful. I'm curious, though. He wrote this over a century ago. Do his ideas still hold up in today's world?
That's what's amazing. They absolutely do.
Even in our fast-paced, technology-driven world.
Especially in our fast-paced world, the principles of creative thought, gratitude, and aligned action are timeless.
And you could argue they're even more relevant now than ever.
Think about it. We're bombarded with information and distractions. It's so easy to get caught up in the noise and lose sight of what truly matters.
We're constantly being pulled in a million different directions.
Wattles' teachings remind us to slow down, to focus on our vision, to cultivate a positive mindset, and to take consistent action towards our goals.
It's a message of empowerment, of taking control of our destinies amidst the chaos.
And he offers specific guidance on how to navigate the challenges we face in our modern world.
Okay, I'm all ears. What are some of his key suggestions for staying on track?
Wattles emphasizes the importance of guarding our thoughts and our speech.
This is about staying positive, right? Not letting negativity creep in.
Exactly. He cautions against dwelling on past failures, complaining about circumstances, or speaking negatively about the future. It's all about cultivating a mental environment that supports growth and abundance.
So it's about creating a mental fortress against negativity.
He even goes so far as to suggest avoiding pessimistic news and literature.
Wow, that's pretty radical. He's saying we need to be mindful of the information we consume.
He believed that negativity could seep into our minds and undermine our faith and purpose.
It's about curating your mental diet.
And he stresses the importance of staying focused on the present moment, not getting bogged down in worries about the future.
Not letting anxieties about what might happen paralyze you.
He says, do not concern yourself with questions as to how you shall surmount obstacles which may loom upon your business horizon unless you can see plainly that your course must be altered today in order to avoid them.
So it's about taking things one step at a time, dealing with challenges as they arise, and trusting that you'll have the resources and wisdom to handle whatever comes your way.
And remember, he says, no possible combination of circumstances can defeat a man or woman who is proceeding to get rich along strictly scientific lines.
There's that unwavering belief in the power of these principles shining through.
He was adamant that anyone who follows this path with consistency and dedication will succeed.
And he encourages us to never give up on our vision, even when we inevitably encounter setbacks.
He assures us that even seeming failures can ultimately lead to greater success if we maintain our faith and keep moving forward.
That's incredibly encouraging. It's about seeing setbacks as opportunities for learning and growth.
Exactly. And he also talks about the importance of developing your talents.
This is where things get practical again. What are his thoughts on that?
He reminds us that we don't need to have every skill perfectly honed before we begin.
Right.
As we progress on this path, the necessary talents will emerge.
It's reassuring to know that you don't have to be like a master of everything right out of the gate.
Exactly. It's about trusting the process and believing in your capacity to learn and grow along the way.
Yeah, he even uses the example of Abraham Lincoln, who achieved incredible things despite having limited formal education.
That's a powerful example. It highlights that success is not predetermined by your starting point,
right,
but by your commitment to growth.
So it's not about where you start, but about the direction you're heading.
Exactly.
And your willingness to evolve.
Wattles believed that the same source of wisdom and ability that guided Lincoln is available to all of us.
So we can tap into this infinite potential whenever we need guidance or support.
And he emphasizes that this journey of growth and abundance is not just about material wealth, it's about enriching every aspect of your life.
It's about becoming the best and most well-rounded version of yourself.
Precisely. And as you do that, you not only improve your own life, but you contribute to making the world a better place.
This is a truly holistic approach to success.
It is. And as Wattles wraps up his book, he provides a concise summary of the key principles to remember.
Okay, let's have it remind us of the essential steps to make this science work.
He reiterates that everything is made from this thinking substance.
That's the foundation of his entire philosophy, right?
Exactly. And this substance responds to our thoughts.
Right.
When we impress our desires upon it with clarity, faith, and gratitude. We set the creative forces in motion to bring those desires into reality.
Our thoughts are like blueprints, and the universe is the architect.
That's a great analogy. And Wattles emphasizes that we need to shift from a competitive mindset to a creative one.
So it's about working with the universe, not against it.
And he repeatedly emphasizes that gratitude is key to establishing that harmonious relationship with the creative forces.
It's like we're expressing appreciation for the abundance that's already present in our lives.
And that gratitude opens the door to receiving even more. He also talks about the importance of forming a clear and definite mental picture of what you want.
It's not enough to just have a vague desire you have to get crystal clear about your vision.
He suggests spending time contemplating your vision, imagining it in vivid detail.
Like creating a mental movie of your ideal life.
Exactly. And remember, it's not just about the mental picture you need to take inspired action every single day.
Those consistent actions, no matter how small, will eventually lead you to your goals.
And as you take those actions, imbue them with the thought of increase, that spirit of abundance and generosity.
And always aim to give more in use value than you receive in cash value.
Create those win-win situations where everyone benefits. And lastly,
Okay.
always guard your thoughts and your speech. Stay positive, focus on the good,
Yeah.
and create a mental environment that supports your journey.
Wow, that was an incredible journey through Wattles' The Science of Getting Rich. You've really broken it down in a way that makes it feel accessible and applicable.
His ideas are incredibly powerful. And as we've seen, they're still so relevant today.
It's a timeless philosophy that can help anyone create a life of greater abundance and fulfillment.
Remember, you have the power to shape your reality. It starts with your thoughts, your beliefs, and your actions.
So what will you create? What seed will you plant today? What step will you take toward the life you envision?
Until next time, keep diving deep and keep those thoughts focused on abundance.
And keep believing in your power to create the life of your dreams.